Hey guys, this is a great activity if you need a class opener as kids are shuffling in and you want to start the class out and change that chip into English. It works great if you need like some sort of transition activity, or if the kids are a little out of control and you need to group them back up in English and think in English, or to close an activity, right? To close the day just before you leave, you work on something together. It's a really fast activity and we kind of all work together in this. And it works best for kids, like older kids, 10, 11, 12, and teenagers. It'll probably work best with them, and probably adults too, to an extent. But teens are a little better because they're more creative. They're less afraid of making mistakes sometimes. But you can call this a chain storytelling, one word story, one sentence story, anything you want to call it. But it's essentially each person tells a part of the story until it goes around the class. You could do it where everyone says a sentence, everyone says a part of a sentence, everyone says a word, whatever increment you want to do. All right. So one person starts, yesterday I went to the amusement park, and then the next one. And you can choose something to work on in each time you do it, right? So I would suggest to do this on a regular or semi-regular basis, at least once a week. Maybe not every class, maybe every class, but probably not every class. Once a week, maybe do it every class for a month, and then maybe not something, but regularly or semi-regularly, so they start to become good at it, right? And that will be very motivating. And there are so many lessons, language lessons to teach in this and have the students practice. So let's go through a couple of them now. Maybe you would want to teach using transitions, right? So let's use the example from earlier. Yesterday, I went to the amusement park. And then the next person, they'd have to start with a transition, right? And then, or while I was there, or a relative clause, where I saw, right? Some sort of transitional word. Maybe pre-teach those or remind them of those on the board before you play the game and say, that's the focus. That's what we want to focus on. Maybe your focus is on using the correct verb tense, and you'll change it up. Maybe you won't say yesterday. Maybe you'll say, in 3 years, I will have graduated high school, or whatever, right? If your students will have graduated high school in 3 years, right? Or in 3 years, I will have, and then pass it off to the next person. And they have to use the past participle, right? And, or tomorrow I will, and then pass it off, or tomorrow I will, whatever you want to do, whatever grammar tense you want to work on, start the sentence in that, or tell the students beforehand, I want us to use the present continuous, or I want us to use the future tenses, one of the future tenses, whatever focus you want to have, state that before. Maybe you want to focus on vocabulary and everybody says a word and see how that goes, right? There are so many variations you can use with this that I didn't want to write all of them here, because I want you to think creatively in your mind, because every class is different. Some of the Easter egg lessons that your students will benefit from are, first, creativity, thinking on the top of your head, right? Because the story's going to go around. They can't prepare anything. It will be difficult for some students, especially if they're shy. But again, if you do this on a regular basis, they will get good at it and they will improve at it. They'll either have to improve at it and think creatively, or be bored, right? So continue doing it. Pass through the boring, complaining part, and then you'll probably start to see some improvement. Another hidden Easter egg lesson is teamwork, working together. You know, if you do this on a regular basis, they will start wanting to work together. They will start thinking as a team, and of course, general creativity, right? You have to think of be creative or be bored, right? Like I said before. So try this out. If you haven't done this, maybe you're like me and you've done something like this a couple times here or there, but really do it on a regular basis, again, or a semi-regular basis, once a week, and just note how the students are improving, right? Another thing that I'd suggest maybe would be a good idea is to keep a log of all of their sentences in corrections so they can see the progress. That might be a little weird, but you do what you feel is appropriate for your classes and let me know how it goes. If you're just watching this on YouTube, then I'll put a link to the lesson below. If you're watching this on Sweed Academy, you're already here, and members will get extra videos, downloadable worksheets, downloadable lesson plans, downloadable material and PowerPoints. So consider being a member, help us grow. Keep teaching and keep learning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.